worn jerseys at all in football anymore, right? At all.
Okay.
So wouldn't that put a real high premium on 2019 and below game worn jerseys?
Why can't PSA provide a service where they tell you the reasoning on how they grade your card? For example, like why it didn't grade at 10.
How does it work on tax wise? Do you get 1099 from eBay or those kind of things, or what you've sold from them or things like that?
Welcome to the Eric Michael Show, where we talk about business, sports cards, and today it's a special one because the NFL season starts tomorrow. Thank God. Wow. That was a long summer. But we're back. I'm going to give you guys the top 3 guys who I think could go up in value from now until when the season begins and as we get into the season, and the top 3 guys who I would not buy. So I usually don't recommend buying anyone to predict if they're going to be a great player or not, because it's very difficult to do. But I'm going to give you my top 3 guys. If I had to make a guess, not only are they going to have good seasons, but their card values are going to go up. Okay. And bear with me, because I know a lot of you guys are going to make fun of me with what I'm about to say, but let me back up my case. So the guys that go up in value, it's always 1 or 2 guys that just pop off and go up like double, triple. It's never the guys you expect, because something is only an opportunity when no one else sees it as an opportunity. So if Jayden Daniels has a great year, his cards probably are not going to go up all too much because that's what people already expected. But if someone like Daniel Jones has a great year, right? If you just look, right? Let's see here. Instead of me talking, let me just show you. So Daniel Jones is like an interesting one. He's not one of my guys, but I'm just trying to prove a point here before you guys all make fun of what I'm about to say. All right. Look at Daniel Jones, right? Daniel Jones, Contenders Auto. What was it? 2019 his rookie year, I think. All right. Check this out. This card. Oh, this is his variation. Okay, here we go. This card is not worth a lot of money for a Contenders PSA 10 rookie. This card is $200. At one point, I remember this card was sold for what was it, 800 or 900 at its high point, something crazy. Yeah, like $800. This was 3 years ago. And you're going to see it's way down since when he first started playing for the Giants. Something like this, if he starts playing well, if he starts doing anything decent, it's going to go up in value, right? Because no one else is buying him. No one else sees him as an opportunity, okay? So with that said, I'm going to make you guys my top 3 predictions for NFL quarterbacks that are going to go up in value. Then I'm going to give you the 3 worst who I wouldn't buy if I was making a guess as to who could go up and not in value. Number 3, Tua Tagovailoa from the Miami Dolphins. And since I already have this pulled up, let me show. So you'll see a very similar concept, right? Just down. And I know the Dolphins may or may not have a great year. He should put up good stats as long as he's healthy, right? That's a big caveat. They still have good weapons. Mike McDaniel's a good offensive coach. And there's just a lot of room here. At one point, this card was worth, almost $2,000. And now we're at a point where it's cheap. And now it's $300 to $400 now. There's just a lot of room for it to go up. Also a little bit of room to go down. Okay, so that's number 3. Third best guy to buy. Second best guy who I think could have a great season. I'm actually really high on him. And his cards are just cheap. Just cheap. Sam Darnold. Okay, I think the Seahawks have a high chance to win that division, number 1. Number 2, he has a good offensive line. He has a great running game. He has a great defense. It's difficult to play in Seattle. And even if he just does okay, he doesn't have an MVP season, but Seattle starts winning, his cards are going to go up in value. And I don't see how they really have a bad year because their whole team is young. A lot of just really, really good players. I know Metcalf left and Lockett left, but they still have Smith-Njigba. I believe they have a good tight end as well. And if you look at Darnold, right, his stuff really fell off. It went up and then, down. And if we see here, let's look at, see if I can find a sale. There's also, there's also just not a lot of sales of him. So you could see this card at one point last year was worth a lot of money. It got all the way up to $600 as Contenders PSA 10, but now it's worth $200. Like, this is so cheap for a starting quarterback in the NFL of a pretty good team. I think we could all agree the Seahawks are a pretty good team. This is just like something like this. The way I look at it is Sam Darnold, I'm not trying to judge whether he's a good player or not. I think he's going to have a good year. I think he has a big arm. I think he does a lot of good things well. But it's a matter of value. Like, this card sells for $200. There's just not a lot of room for it to go down as long as he keeps starting. And I think Jalen Milroe is his backup, which, like, I guess they could have him start if he plays bad, but he's probably not going to be replaced. And there's just not a lot of room for it to go down, and there's tons of room for it to go up. If you told me Sam Darnold started the year 6-2 with, 16 touchdowns and like 4 interceptions, and this card was $600, I wouldn't bat an eye. I'd be like, oh, well, I kind of expected that, to be honest. It's just a good value play. Like, I'm ignoring whether I think they're a good player or not. Good team. It's just cheap, man. It's just cheap. And number one, where I'm probably going to get made fun of the most, is Trevor Lawrence. Okay. So Trevor Lawrence, kind of similar to Mr. Here, let me look up his Silver Prism PSA 10 because his regular contender cards are weird. But I just want to show you guys this just to give you like a, like an indicator of his value. Once again, stuff is just cheap, man. And what's crazy is you could have bought this card in the offseason for like $500, and now it sells for like near $700. But at one point, this is crazy. This card is like $2,600. And I'm going to take a bold prediction here and say that the Jaguars are going to win the division. One team every single year like clockwork, where no one expected them to do anything and they make the playoffs. So last year was the Commanders. This year, my pick is the Jaguars. Division's pretty easy, right? You have the Titans, you have the Colts, and you have the Texans, who are decent. And I think he finally has some weapons, shored up the team a little bit. No one's really expecting them to do anything. I just think there's a lot of room for him to finally have a breakout year. Like, he's too talented and he's too good to not be playing well. He's like 6'6". He runs like a gazelle. He has a rocket arm. For the most part, he's pretty accurate. And he's really never been given proper weapons. But now, Brian Thomas Jr. is in his second year, and they have Travis Hunter. So, and then Travis Etienne as well as running back. So, they finally have a formidable team, a few weapons around him. And even if he doesn't like make the playoffs or win the division, I just think there's a lot of room for this card to go up. This is a little bit more risk than Sam Darnold. I look at it because Darnold stuff is so cheap. There's just not a lot of room for it to go down. This stuff is not too cheap, so it can still go down a little bit. But I just think there's huge upside. And I think the Jaguars are going to be the surprise team in the NFL this year. Maybe get 10, 11 wins. I might look back at this and laugh and think I'm an idiot. But that's just my bold prediction. And once again, I'm just playing the numbers. Just no one's buying him, right? People are buying all the other guys. So for those reasons, I think, I think it's just a solid buy. So those are my top 3 guys who I think are going to go up in value. And the top 3 guys who I think are not going to go up in value, or guys that are not going to, or where their card values are not going to go up. I'll just keep this one pretty simple and short. Actually, you know what? I'll show you guys. Let me share my screen. So number 3 would be Mr. Drake May. Everyone's high on him, but I just think 2020 Prism Silver PSA 10 Drake May. I know everyone loves him. Everyone's high on him. I know, but I just think this Silver Prism PSA 10, that's, what is this? Like $400 or $500. Like, this sells for what CJ Stroud's sells for. And CJ Stroud's a pretty good player. I just think he's going to have an average year, and this card's going to be cut in half. So that's number 3. Number 2, someone who I'm also not high on is JJ McCarthy. So I also think this is crazy what his stuff sells for. His stuff like Drake May sells for similar to CJ Stroud. He's proven nothing. I don't like how he's really never played in a big game with a lot of pressure where he had to throw the ball a lot. I know he won a national championship at Michigan, but he didn't have to throw the ball. He was up the whole game. He had a way better team, and they just ran the ball all year. So I also think my top pick, my top gambling pick, I'll actually go over all that stuff in a second. But so McCarthy, I think is bad news. And then the worst news, in my opinion, not because he's a bad player, just because this stuff sells crazy high. This is $1,000 for a silver prism PSA 10 is wild. There's a lot of sophomore slumps, man. It just happens a lot. For him to maintain this value, he's gonna have to play so well. Just it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to do. So yeah, I just don't think it's gonna maintain this value. And for those reasons, I just would stay far away from Jaden Daniels. And you could see the newer guys are the ones I'm not high on because their cards are worth so much money. But the guys who I'm high on, like Darnold and Lawrence and Tua, no one's high on them, so their cards are really low. So there's just not a lot of room for them to go down, a lot of room for them to go up. So those are my top three guys who I think are going to go down in value. And my top three bets, because I like to bet on sports and I like to bet on football specifically. So I like the Browns +5. I think they're home to the Bengals with Joe Flacco starting. I think the Browns are more of a complete team. The Bengals defense is like Swiss cheese. Browns have a really tough defense. I know the Bengals offense is elite, but I think that's going to be a field goal game. +5. I like it. Number 2, my second most favorite bet. This one's kind of risky, but I like the Bills at home. Basically pick them to the Ravens. I just, the Bills at home with Josh Allen, man, you just got to pick them. And I think the Ravens are a better team. And I think if they played in Baltimore, which they did last year, they'd run the ball down their throat. But because they're home, more energy. I think the Bills have Joey Bosa now as well, which will help stopping the run. I just think you can't not take the Bills at home. Should be a close game. I think the Bills will edge them out. And my top pick, I love this bet too much. I love this bet too much because it's scary with the amount of money I might throw on it. It's the Bears, Monday night, home to the Vikings. The Bears are +2. I cannot wrap my head around that line. I think the Bears are a better team, or at least similar, but they have a more experienced quarterback. McCarthy's done nothing. It's McCarthy's first game where he's going to have to throw the ball like 25, 30, 40 times. And Monday night in Chicago, they have a pretty good defense. I think that's a big spot for McCarthy to let everybody down. Me personally, I'm not that high on JJ McCarthy. He's kind of athletic. I don't think he's a great arm. He kind of has a slow release. I think that's just a lot to put on somebody that's never been in a spot like that, right? He's going to have to, there's going to be 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. And if you just watched last week, Ohio State versus Texas, everyone's high on this kid Arch Manning. But the reality is he played at a pretty crappy high school or against crappy high school competition. He played last year for Texas against pretty bad teams. He's never been thrown in a spot where now these defensive coordinators are confusing him. There's a lot of pressure, or like in Ohio State's case, they had a former defensive coordinator in Matt Patricia. And I think the same thing can happen with McCarthy. Now, like Arch Manning, I think will still be good, but it's just a tough spot. It's a tough spot to be in. How many rookies just come out of the gate slinging the ball in Chicago, against a good defense? And like last year, I don't know if you guys will remember this, but Caleb Williams' first game, I love the Titans to beat them, but Will Levis is terrible and completely botched it. But Caleb Williams played terrible, just like throwing off his back foot, sacked multiple times, just holding, just terrible, inaccurate, just no good at all. And I think Caleb Williams versus JJ McCarthy is a big mismatch. Ben Johnson, I think, is going to get the Bears going. I also like them to make the playoffs, but I don't think people would be really surprised if they did. So, yeah, those are my picks for the NFL season. And my Super Bowl prediction, maybe what you guys not expect. I think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl because they just have a young, great defense. Stafford, as long as he's healthy, which he usually is, they got pretty far last year. They almost beat the Eagles in Philadelphia in the snow. So I think the Rams are poised to win the Super Bowl or get pretty damn close. I like them. I did like the Lions, but then thinking about it, their offensive and defensive coordinator both left, and they were both really good, like Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. So Lions, maybe not. But cool. Let's let the callers begin. Other callers? No callers yet. If you guys have questions, feel free to call into that phone number below, 813-618-2075. Usually it takes like a few minutes and then the callers just start to come in. There we go. All right, go for it.
I'm so sorry, bro. Like, I don't have you on anything weird, no Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I watch you guys all the time, bro. Like, never, ever have I had a chance to call in. My question is real simple, and I know it's probably a straightforward answer. We don't get game-worn jerseys at all in football anymore, right? At all.
Okay.
So wouldn't that put a real high premium on, like, 2019 and below game-worn jerseys? It seems like everything still goes for the same price, like Jaden Daniels, jersey card, rookie jersey cards are through the roof. But you can get a Drew Brees game-worn jersey card for $5. You know what I mean? If it's actually been worn in a game, it may not be numbered or anything like that. But long-term, wouldn't that hold much higher value than some parallel to a Jaden Daniels rookie card? I mean, I know you say to collect a specific way to make money. I'm just talking about for a long-term hold. I'm not talking about a quick flip. Aren't this whole new wave of nothing being game worn or anything? Isn't it basically just a card with a piece of fabric in it for long-term holding?
Yeah. So what I would say is, one, you don't know what the future holds. Like, Fanatics could easily bring back game worn stuff when they take over the license. And two, I mean, there's so much of the game worn stuff still out there. It's not like a rare thing, and it might be brought back. To me, like, if the goal is to make money, I just think there's much better long-term investments, because it's just a guess, right? It's no different than like just hoping and praying that a random player plays well. So, like, I just don't like to guess when it comes to making money. Like, you have a point, but I don't. It's kind of like, here, let me give you a good example. You know how LeBron James's rookie card is like Topps Chrome Basketball from 2003?
Yeah.
So that's like saying, wow, I should buy LeBron rookies. It's like, let's say it was 5 years ago. I should buy LeBron rookies because Topps Chrome doesn't exist anymore, which is going to put a premium on Topps Chrome LeBron rookies. It's just not how it works. People don't care.
Right.
So my first instinct, I don't think it's a good investing strategy, just because there's proof that when things get discontinued, people don't really care. Is the player good or is he not good? That's really it. So me personally, it's not something I would do, to be honest with you.
Okay, so basically it's more just for the personal preference. It's not going to carry any more value versus a Drew Brees 2022 game-worn or not game-worn jersey card versus a Drew Brees 2019 game-worn jersey card. They're all basically going to fall into the same category in 20 years, right?
Correct. That would be my assumption, and you never know, obviously, but that would be my assumption based on my experience.
I'm not going to hold you up on your phone. I know you got lots of callers and shit like that. I just wanted to, A, thank you for the free info, bro.
Yeah.
B, to finally get a chance to call and see. I'm moving from PA to Florida finally, so at least I'll be closer when I watch your shows, man. And thank you guys. Thank you all so much, man. We are going to buy into the program soon. We were supposed to buy in this month, but my dad ended up having a stroke and I have to move down to Florida. So we're going to buy into it, but there's my $2,000, my extra $2,000, right, that I had for the program.
Yeah.
So it's going to put me back a couple months, but I'm definitely buying in 100%. I definitely take all your advice. I started buying the rookie quarterbacks, like you said, only Prism,
Did it work? Did it work?
Like, I'm doing the whole thing. I haven't sent anything to grading. I caught on to your program just a couple weeks ago, so I got in late. I don't know a lot about the other sports. I just started buying baseball because you told me to. Bought some Nick Kurtz cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, here's a piece of advice. Pokemon. There's section.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, that's okay. There's a section in the program that you have access to called tcgplayer.com, and it takes you step by step. I barely know anything about Pokemon either. Like, I know the basics, right? Pikachu, Charizard. That's about it. But Pokemon is a huge. I have students, just to put it in perspective. I have a student that just sold tons of like Victini is like a new Pokemon card. And he was buying them for $400 and just sold a slew of them for $1,500 as a PSA 10. And they grade a PSA 10 66% of the time.
So that's that. All right, I'll start looking into that too. You should put a little program out one time on some Pokemon. I bet you get a lot of hits on that.
Yeah, yeah, I talk about it here and there. But sports cards my bread and butter. Like I know everything
Right.
there is to know about it. Pokemon, I just know how to like flip them and make money, which I guess is what's important. But yeah, I'll try to mix in some more Pokemon stuff, especially as Pokemon gets hotter and hotter because it really is.
Yeah, you said if we don't have 25% of our portfolio on Pokemon, we're fucking up. But like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
I don't
that's
know nothing about Pokemon yet, so it's like I don't want to lose my ass in this shit either, you know?
yeah. If you go back to oh man, maybe it was a few podcasts ago. I take you step by step on how to find
I've seen
Pokemon
them
cards.
all. I've seen all your podcasts, bro. Literally.
Yeah, so I would a few of them ago I talked about it, and it's literally I take you step by step on how to find valuable
Yeah,
Pokemon
you
cards.
actually even pulled one up and said exactly what to look for. And I definitely went on. It's crazy because I think people really are watching your shit because I didn't find none of them on there. that exact variation because and I was even you were doing it live, bro. So there's not much of a delay. About 20 minutes after the show, and I said, let me jump on there and see if I can find that card he was looking for, and that shit was gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that many people are watching. That'd be nice, but there's still
40 now.
yeah, the fifth. Oh yeah, 50 total. But yeah, yeah, maybe I'll keep things more of a secret because I let everything out, as you could tell.
Yeah, you definitely get sniped, bro. You 100% get sniped. I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple times you bid on something, and I thought I was gonna do. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be a scumbag and do that to him because you put the bug in all our ears, saying I think people are sniping me. And I was like, yo, that's a good fucking idea, but I can never catch you live either.
Oh yeah,
'cause
yeah. I know it happens.
nights.
I know it happens all the time, but it's okay. My main goal is to help people make money. A sports cards is a side income for me. My main income is, helping people do it. So that's okay.
Listen, I just wanted to thank you, bro. I know you got a lot of haters out there. Fuck all the haters, bro. You came, you built this shit from the ground up. That's amazing. Hopefully one day I'm going to be in Vero Beach, so I'm not going to be too far away from Tampa. Maybe I'll see you at a card show down there sometime, get to shake your hand.
Yeah, for sure. And what was your name again?
My name is, I'm Diddy Do It on the fucking comments, but my name is Josh. It's good to meet you, bro.
Josh and Diddy Do It. Got it. I won't. That's hard to forget. I won't forget that.
Brothers, listen, thank you so much, Eric. God bless all y'all.
All right, thanks, man. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
I don't know if there are other callers or not. That guy's funny. That's funny. Well, in the meantime, before we get some more callers, like I said, if you have questions, call them below. I'll show you guys some stuff I'm doing. So with extra money, sports cards has been making me some pretty decent profit. It's like, what do I do with this extra money? I'm talking about like, 50, 100, 200, $300,000. And it's hard to buy modern cards. It's hard to buy cards to get graded with that much money. So I've started to get into real big vintage. And I'll kind of go over. So I spent $60,500 on this whole lot of cards. I'll kind of go over them one by one. So this first one is my favorite card. Ray Bork, 1980 O-Pee-Chee PSA 10 rookie. This goes for like $10,000 to $11,000. And this is a sick card. Like I'm a big hockey fan, so I love guys like Ray Bork and like 70s and 80s hockey, like Gretzky and Lemieux and all that stuff. But to be honest with you, I've never even seen one of these cards before I bought it like last week. So I'm super excited to get this in. 1951 Bowman PSA 3 Mantle. This card sells for like 15 to 20 grand. I'm into it for like 15, but just a solid card that I think will go up as time goes on. Love these cards too. 1980 Topps Elway PSA 10. These do like $10,000. They're up a lot in the past few months, so not too bad. PSA 6 1955 Topps Clemente. It's like a $6,000 to $7,000 card. 1952 Bowman PSA 6 Mantle, also really nice. I think these do like $5,000 to $6,000. And a 1933 Gaudy PSA 2 Babe Ruth. This does like $12,000-ish. And these are actually my favorite cards of all time. I love them. I like Babe Ruth. I like history, even though I'm a Mets fan. But yeah, I just picked all these up. I actually bought them like 2 weeks ago, but I wasn't able to get them in the mail because I couldn't go to FedEx in time. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep buying stuff like this. And stuff like this is almost going to act like a retirement fund for me. It's where I put my extra money. People put their extra money in stocks, 401k. But, a business lesson I learned a long time ago is, double down on what you're good at. And the reality is, I know very little about stocks. I know a little bit about real estate, which is where I put some money. So yeah, but I'll keep you guys updated on these big purchases because I think you know, I think these are pretty solid. I'll kind of show you how, in the meantime, like I said, if you guys have questions, feel free to call into that phone number below. But I'll show you guys what are like kind of how I buy vintage, I guess. Best way to put it. So check this out. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. All right, so let's take a 19. I don't know. Let's take this card. 1933 Gaudi Ruth PSA 2. So, okay, so this is what I like to do when I buy vintage, right? Because like you could buy these cards really at like any point, and you can see they go up and down, up and down, up and down. So when I'm buying it, I try to make sure that I'm buying it at a low. So there was just a higher sale here. I like to get in when there's a lower sale. So 12,500 was a lower sale. It's not that much lower. You can see it's still like trending upwards, but I always like to get in low, right? And that's the beauty of these cards. They go like this all the time. And if you're going to invest long term, you might as well save yourself 10, 20% and just invest in low. And another example I can give of this is like, let's look at the 1952 Bowman Mantle PSA 6. So you can see it's the same concept, right? There was a high sale and then there's a few lower ones. I think I'm into it for like 7,000. I forgot what I was into it at. But you can see there's a bunch of other sales, but I always like to buy it at the lower, not the higher. And these cards will change. The reason there's like so much like up and down is because this card could sell for 7,000 or it could sell for 9,000, each a PSA 6, just depending on the condition. So, yeah, and let's just show you another example. Like, I don't know, actually, I don't think this one was at a low, but this is I love these cards. So I'm into this one for 9,000, and this one's not at a low. I bought it. Yeah, you could see just a few months ago. This card is worth a lot more. Hopefully, it doesn't go back down to that. But this was just a good deal. Like I saw they were doing like 10,000. He gave it to me at 9, so I figured I might as well get in at a 10% discount. And the 1951 Bowman Mantle PSA 3, same thing, right? There was a low sale of like 13, then 15. So I got it in at the low. This $20,000 sale and these other higher sales, the card probably was a little bit better centered than mine. Mine's not that greatly centered, but so that's probably why I got mine a little bit cheaper. Then my favorite card of all of it was the Ray Bork PSA 10, and this I just got at a good deal, to be frank with you. I think I'm into it for like 9 or 10,000 in the deal, and there's a sale of 8,700, and there's a sale of 11,400. So you could see all I'm trying to do is just get in good, right? If I'm going to invest long term, that's all I'm trying to do. Just getting good. Badass pickups. Thank you. Appreciate that. Wow, raking profits. What's up, man? We did. Oh wow, I remember years ago, right? We did a collaboration. Loving the content. Keep killing it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But let's answer some questions because I'm sure you guys have. Of course, this dude fake ass voice. Oh, you're talking about the tech screw up. Dude, hang up. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. The mentor is live. I appreciate that. Why can't PSA provide a service where they tell you the reasoning on how they grade your card? For example, like why it didn't grade a 10. I think they'll do that at card shows if I'm not mistaken, but why they don't, it's just not something they want to add in. It probably takes a lot of time. These guys are grading tons and tons of cards, I would imagine. Good idea. But yeah, that's probably why. But Mets, Jonah Tong or Nolan McLean. So in terms of buying these guys, I wouldn't buy any of them because their values are probably up a lot. But I like that kid Jonah Tong a lot. It's got a nasty curveball and he throws like 96, 97. He's disgusting. He should be He should be really good. But while I wait for you guys to have some questions, let's hop on eBay, and I'll take advantage of this time by buying some cards. That's always the best way I could provide value, I feel like. So let's take a look here. Let's look at some baseball. I have a small list here of some guys that I'm looking to buy. The list is secret. Oh, I'm kidding. It's not secret. One guy who I'm looking to buy is Justin Crawford, that I can't seem to find any of his cards because apparently it's impossible. Well, I mean, people are probably not selling them. That's probably why. Oh, wait, I just found one. So this card's already graded. Oh, and a blue refract. Oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna. It's a PSA 9. I'll stay away. Refractor PSA 10. I wonder what these do. 2023 Bowman Chrome Crawford Refractor PSA 10. Where are you? At a $4.99. There we go. This card sells for $280, $209. Already at $200. But with that said, I will place a bid on it. I think this has upside. I think he's going to start for the Phillies next year. I think this can go up in value. You guys don't know what I'm doing. This is Easy Sniper. It basically just bids automatically in the last second. So I'll bid between those sales at $248. And I just hope I get it. I think that's a pretty easy purchase, at least in my opinion. Purple refractor. Let's look at Bryce Eldridge Bowman Chrome Auto. I'm just gonna look at some. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. I'm gonna just look at stuff with at least one bid. And let's see, Mr. Bryce Eldridge. Oh, let's only look at his rookie year. So this is also another guy who I think can go up a lot in value because his he should start for the first time, but there's no great cards ending in auction. Let's look at another one. So I have a coach who loves this guy. He loves Mr. I'm just kind of scouring and seeing. Did I spell that right? Termar John. I spelled it right. So blue Bowman Chrome Auto. This is another guy who I think could start for the first time this upcoming spring. I think his stuff can go up a lot in value. Let's look at what this sells for. 2022 Bowman Chrome Auto Termar Constant Blue. This card, man, this is cheap. Did 260, 180, 7. It's at 150. I know I'm gonna get sniped here by all you guys watching, but that's okay. I'm here to give value. I would pay. What would I pay for this? What was the last sale? 260. I'll probably pay close to the last sale. 251. If there's anything else ending, Gold Wave, Gold Refractor. This is overpriced, unfortunately. Way overpriced. Wow. That is way overpriced. Let's keep going down the list. Let's look at Lazaro Montez. I believe this kid's comp is like Jordan Alvarez. I think that's what people say about him. Got one? All right, let it rip. Oh, wait, let me put you on speaker. Hold on. Hey, you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I've been following you for probably about a month now, and
cool.
Content getting back into cards.
Sweet.
I really enjoy Prism, and it's is there anywhere that shows if it's not a numbered card, which of the other variations that are short prints are preferred over others, or like a run on them, or anything like that on the ones that aren't numbered but are still short print?
So you're looking. Wait, let me see if I understand. So, wait, repeat it in a different way. So,
Okay,
Prism.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, so if I'm looking for, say, Bonix prism, and they have, say like a white sparkle or a zebra or a or not a zebra, a tiger, or one of those.
Yeah.
And how do are they all the super short prints pretty much equivalent, or is there gonna say like if I'm wanting to purchase one, go after the white because it's even a shorter print than say the tiger or along those lines?
Okay, I think I know what you're asking me. No, they're not equivalent. So some are more rare. Okay, so there's like some are more rare than others, right? Some there's less, some there's more of. And then also some are just more desirable. So like the most desirable short print in Prism, I would say, is probably Tiger Prism. So I would rather have like I don't know how many Tiger Prisms there are, but a white sparkle, there's around 20 usually. Tiger, there's probably more of them, but I'd rather have Tiger because it's much more liquid. People like them more. I think people just like the way they look, to be honest with you.
Okay, so it doesn't matter about it's more of just what people like to look. So even if it's kind of similar, there's just certain ones that are a little more desirable just because of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like here's a good example. So if you look at Bowman Chrome baseball, right? A blue auto at a 150 is usually going to sell more than a green at a 99. Even though there's only 99 greens and there's 150 blues, people prefer the blue. They're much more liquid. People like the way they look. They've been around longer. So does that help you?
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
And then I only have one other.
Yeah.
The business side of it. So I have a small business myself now, and I want to maybe do this as a specific business, and that's something I had questions on you. If I do turn this into on the business side, or even if not, if I'm doing, thousands of dollars, trading, trading but buying, selling on eBay, getting graded, things like that. How does it work on like tax wise? Do you get like 1099s from like eBay or those kind of things, or like what you've sold from them or things like that?
Yeah. So, okay, I'm not an accountant by any stretch. Keep that in mind. But yes, I do believe they send you 1099s, and then also it just operates like any business. You just pay taxes on your income. Now, what I tried to do is, towards the end of the year, and also it kind of works well with sports cards because the end of the year is one of the best times to buy because the market takes a dip. So a lot of stuff is cheap because people are focusing on people are focusing on the holidays. Is buy a lot at the end of the year so it deducts your income. So you have to give less to the IRS. But I don't know. You said you're a business owner, so I'm sure you understand this. But if you're not a business owner, I always tell everyone to start an LLC. Right, it's only going to save you money. Be able to report on being able to write stuff off. Not an accountant, but I can tell you that's like simple tax saving strategy stuff. But it just operates like any other business.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Anything you buy, of course, inventory, anything you sell, and then your supplies. And then I also thought too, if you're doing a lot of PC stuff, that's still kind of your inventory. Let alone even if you don't really plan on selling a ton of it, but then you still kind of show that as inventory, as an expense. So.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, that was what I was. That's kind of curious. I sure appreciate it.
Well, sweet, cool. Good luck out there. Keep me updated on how it goes.
Thanks.
All right. Bye. The callers have begun. As you can see, we're trying to use this. Oh, never mind. Calling everyone back. Answer my call. That's direct. Are you the one that's? I think we're calling you back, but it's back to voicemail. So it could be you. Tropic collects. But anyways, I'll continue my search on eBay while I wait for some of you guys to call. Let's hop over. So Lazaro Montez. See if there's anything good. There's some PSA 10 refractors. Any auctions ending? Auctions are the easiest because everyone's always overpriced naturally because I'm looking to buy it cheap. No, there's not much. Let's see what else we got here. Harry Ford. I just bought a sick card of Harry Ford. It was a gold Bowman Chrome Auto. I believe his rookie year's in 2021. Oh, I typed in Harry Gold. Harry Ford. Harry Ford. Bowman Chrome PSA 10. Not too bad. Marcelo Meyer. You hear that? What is that? Oh, yeah, it sounds a little weird in my headphones. Let's see what we got here. We have this Bowman Chrome Auto. I usually don't like to buy lower end, but I don't know if you guys know this about Harry Ford, but he, for some reason, his cards are short printed. Like there's no blue, and there's a few parallels that don't exist. But this is definitely something I would buy for cheap. Like I'd bid like 130. Ends in 5 days, but screw it. Might as well bid now, and so you don't forget about it, right? Let's see. Go to Easy Sniper. I'll bid the last sale. I know you guys might steal that. It's okay. Look up another case to. How do I spell this? Dilutor. Promo. I actually made some money with this guy years ago. Yeah, it's not a lot, but those are some of the baseball guys. Me personally, I'm looking to buy. Your number. Yes, it does. The number works. Trust me. Should I buy Eldridge right now or wait until baseball ends? I'm starting to buy it right now, depending on the card. Depending on, I'm looking for a decent deal because I'm buying it early. Yeah, I wouldn't mind starting now. I put together a free PDF down below. It goes over the top 3 guys I'm looking to buy this upcoming football season in depth. The top 3 guys I'm not looking to buy. There's no strings attached. Just a link in the description. Just give us your information. We'll send it over to you. There's nothing for sale. I promise. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.